Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to today's Soul Chat. So, I want to talk about this spiritual concept. It's a spiritual law, as within, so without. Also, there's another spiritual law, as above, so below. And I want to talk about these two laws from the perspective of understanding what happens in the process of manifestation when your blessing, your miracle is just about to come, right? When the breakthrough is about to happen. What is happening right before the breakthrough, okay? So this video is going to be about what is happening right before the breakthrough, and I'm going to explain to you these two spiritual laws and how they play into manifestation and how they play into you getting closer to your miracle, to your blessing, and kind of collapsing the time in between, okay? The reason why I want to talk to you about this is because I've been hearing a lot about just people feeling like uneasy. I've also been noticing like there's a huge shift that's happening. A lot of people are moving into different realities, different like dimensions of consciousness, and there seems to be a lot of confusion about things. And in general, I feel like manifestation has been so butchered over the years. Like, people don't really understand what manifestation is, okay? Like, manifestation is not something that we do. It just happens. It happens because we are in alignment with what we are within, right? So like our inner world is in alignment with our external world, and when that's the case, manifestation is happening, right? It's not like some scientific thing that you have to like figure out, some experiment. Like, I could go on a whole other tangent about this, but like that's not what manifestation is. It's not any of that, okay? Manifestation, the process of manifestation is about you understanding your inner world and bringing awareness to, is that inner world what you want it to be? Imagine your inner world as a garden, okay? Is that garden what you want it to be, or do you want to do something else in that garden? Are the flowers dying? Do you need to give it more water? Do you want to like just take everything that has died and plant new things? That is the work, right? That is the work. When you're doing that work, things will naturally manifest in your reality because you've done the work in your inner world. So I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to explain the two laws that I just talked about: as within, so without, and as above, so below. Okay, I'm going to explain both of those, and then we're going to talk about this space that happens right before your blessing, your miracle comes through, and how to collapse that time. So, as within, so without. What does this mean? This means that you are pure consciousness and you are living in a vessel, a body, and your body is perceiving a reality, okay? There's a perception of a reality that is being perceived by your body through the consciousness that is you, right? So you're not your body, you're this consciousness. And I want to explain it this way. Like, imagine a movie, right? When you're watching a movie, like if you ever looked back to kind of see the projector of a movie, right? There's a screen. That is reality. That's your external reality, right? Then there's a projector, and there's a light coming from the projector. That light is your consciousness. That projector is your inner world, okay? So the light that's being like shot through that projector is all based off of you. So to kind of break that down into more detailed story, your inner world, what you are inside of you, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you are believing about yourself, those things create your reality, right? Those beliefs, those judgments, those thoughts, those emotions, all of those things is creating a narrative, is creating a movie that is playing in your reality, that's playing outside of you. So I want you to like just think about like a really good example is this. I want you to just think about like when you're looking at something, right? A really good example is, you know, I don't even know how many years ago it was. I want to say like 8 years ago, there was like this post about this dress that was on social media, and everybody was trying to guess like what color that dress was. And some people would say blue, some people would say black, gray. I don't know. There were all these colors that were coming through, right? That's based off of your perception. That's actually what's happening in real life too, in your life. Like what you're perceiving in your external is a reflection of what you are within you, right? If you change what you are within you, meaning if you change your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and you align them with what it is that you are desiring, then your reality will be exactly what you're desiring, right? That's what we call embodiment. And so, and that's when you collapse the time, but I'll get to that point in a second. The second law, as above, so below, what does that mean? There are different realms, okay? As above is a spiritual realm, as below is the realm that we're in, the earthly realm, often called the 3D. So if you think about the spiritual realm being the level of pure consciousness, 5D above, and the earthly realm being the 3D, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever is happening above will take place below, okay? So and it happens on the spiritual level first, and then the physical level, okay? And you can kind of break this down within like your own self. So there's a spiritual level of you, there's a mental level of you, mental emotional level of you, and then there's a physical level of you. So within the spiritual level, the spiritual plane, things happen, they will happen first. And when they happen in the spiritual world first, they have to manifest in the planes that are below, okay? So what does this mean? Spiritually, and when I say spiritually, I mean within your consciousness, if you're conjuring something for whatever reason, okay, it could be anything, that will have to manifest within your mental and emotional layer and also within your physical layer. That's why they say that when you get sick or certain things happen, it's like there was an energy that was actually created way before that happened to you in a spiritual perspective and in your consciousness for you to actually go through that in your reality, okay? And that one is a little bit hard to understand, and I think it can get a little bit sticky because people are like, so are you telling me that, like, especially if you had traumatic situations happen in your life, are you telling me that, like, I wish this on myself? And I want to say it's not that, like, you wished it on yourself, but there were thoughts, beliefs, or maybe even energies within you or in your subconscious that imprinted to create such a reality for you to experience it. Okay. I explained this in a whole other TikTok video, but like everything that's happening in our life is really our own responsibility. Like nobody's doing anything to us, okay? We are the ones that are creating everything in our reality. Every single thing in our reality is being created because of us. We're the only ones that we can blame, and we're the only ones that we can also thank for all of the things that are happening in our life, okay? I mean, we can hold gratitude for the universe and for God and for all of those things, but when you really think about it in a very practical way and you understand consciousness, your consciousness, which is also pure consciousness, which is also God, is the source of everything. And when that consciousness starts to get limited with your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your subconscious, all of these other things that are blocking it from being its pure self, things within your reality will start to manifest. So the reason why I explain these two laws to you is because it's very important for you to understand those principles and those basics, to understand the period before a miracle or a blessing comes through, okay? The period before a miracle or blessing comes through is really important, and often we are challenged the most, and often that period is the most difficult, the most uncomfortable, the most like dark, I want to say, because we're I mean, I'm going to explain it this way. So like when you are calling in a blessing, when you're calling in a miracle, okay, you have to have the capacity to hold that within your body, within your vessel. And what quite often happens right before you are about to receive that is you're being expanded. And when you're being expanded, just think about it like a rubber band. It's being expanded. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for us to be expanded, for us to be stretched out, so something can come through, right? It's often when we also are starting to go back to those old energies, those old versions of ourselves that felt comfortable in being small. And during that period, we're going through this trial of like, are you sure you want it? Like, can you be in that frequency? Can you be in that vibration of what called in that miracle so we can just come through? So how do we collapse the time? Okay, let's talk about that. So the period before, I call it the void or the in-between. To collapse the in-between and to collapse a void is to be in alignment and embodiment with your true frequency, okay? And what is your true frequency? Everyone, every single human, every single soul, our true frequency is the frequency of pure consciousness, which is love, okay? Love at its highest form. And when you can be in that frequency of love at all times, irrespective of what's going on, at all times, you collapse that timeline. Because now you're so connected to pure consciousness, you're so connected to that whatever it is that you're thinking will just manifest right in front of you, okay? And this is not an easy state to get to, because we as human have a lot of things that we have to learn to get to that state. But in order for you to collapse that timeline, it's to be in alignment with that frequency at all times. And like I said, in that void, because we're being stretched, because we're being expanded, it's very uncomfortable, and it's hard for us to hold that frequency within our physical body, because we actually want to retreat, we actually want to contract, we actually want to just go back to an older frequency, a smaller frequency, a lower frequency, right? Of like, no, I don't want this. And so like we resist it, and then that timeline of that miracle coming in gets delayed, because the energy that you're putting out is what's exactly that's going to come to you, right? So like what's happening within you is exactly what you're going to see. So like now that you're changing what's happening within you in terms of your frequency that you're holding, what's happening outside of you is going to have to change as well. It needs to keep its accuracy, or its the way that it's perceived exactly to the frequency that you're at, okay? That's why all of us can view this world in many, many, many different ways, based off of our own frequency, based off our own perception, based off of our own state of consciousness, okay? It's not that the world is changing, it's not that the earth is changing, it's you are changing your state of consciousness. And when you are able to rise and change your level of consciousness, things around you start to shift, right? It's not like this like external thing that's happening, like, oh, the world is going to change, like this new earth is coming, like all of these things. Like it's like we're waiting for all these external factors. It's none of those external factors. They're all internal factors that we have to focus on. And so back to what I was saying about collapsing the time in between, it's about you being in alignment with that, right? If you're calling in, let's say, if you're calling in anything that is like abundance, right? So like a child, money, more friends, love, any of those things that are like in the line of abundance, you need to feel abundant first. You need to feel whole and complete first. If you have any sort of lack within you, you are not going to get any of the blessings that are related to abundance. None of them will come to you, okay? You might get like inkling of like, oh, this is coming, right? And then it's very important for you to stay in that frequency of abundance. And when I say stay in the frequency of abundance, that means stay out of the frequency of lack. Stay in the frequency of wholeness, of completeness, of knowing that you are pure consciousness. There's nothing that is missing in you. You have access to everything. So I'm going to end this here because I feel like I'm going on so many different tangents, but I'm going to end this here. And the reason why I really want to talk about this is because outside of like all of the butchering of manifestation, I know that many of us that are going through that period, right? That in-between period, the void period, it may seem very challenging. It may seem like I can't do this. I can't navigate through this. I don't know what to do. But I promise you, if you just stay true to yourself in terms of the frequency that you want to be in, that you are, stay connected to consciousness, whether you call consciousness God or whatever you call it, spirit, universe, whatever. Stay connected to that and to your faith of that, okay? Because that is what's going to pull you out of those moments of feeling the lack and the scarcity and keep you connected to the thoughts and beliefs of abundance. I will end it there. If you have any questions, obviously put it in the comment section, and we will be in touch soon. I will be back with another soul chat next week. I love you all so much. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.